Jesus was utterly, absolutely alone. And only recently has medical science been able to determine really what happened in that awful, hellish exile. For some reason, and probably because the stomach, under the pressure of the moment, the stomach herniates, and the body begins to flood into the abdomen gastric juices, and it becomes engorged and swollen and bloated. Isaiah had said that his face would be scarred like no other man's. Normally, we faint. We pass out at a certain point because the brain will only accept a certain amount of trauma. But if we don't pass out, this abdominal swelling begins to take place because of the herniation of the stomach. And the body is hideous. The darkness lasted 3 hours. Finally, at long last, after 3 hours of that, God lifted the darkness to reveal the hideously deformed, repugnant, repulsive body hanging on the central cross. And Jesus cried out, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" At this point, there's very little blood left in the system. The heart is having to struggle to pump the blood. There's so little left. It is very painful in the chest as the heart is struggling so hard to pump the small amount of blood left. And in the trauma of trying to pump that blood under those circumstances, the pericardium, the sac around the heart, engorges with plasma. And that presses in on the heart, creating a very cruel and intense pain. It's nearly over. And now, Jesus must make an announcement. There's something he must say. No one can say it but him. God the Father is waiting to hear him say it, but he can't speak. Long hours ago, his body was dehydrated. There's very little fluid, very little blood left in the body. But he must speak. His mouth is wooden. It's been dry for hours and hours. He can hardly move his tongue. And yet, he must speak. God is waiting on him to speak.